Hello, welcome to Cardminds. Thank you for stopping by. This is going to be a bonus deep dive reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. These are going to be a deep dive in your energies, in your messages you need to know for these upcoming weeks, even months, till the end of the year. So grab your best headphones, grab your best earbuds for a better sound, and let's dive into these energies, Virgos. What do we need to know? This is a bonus reading. Anyone popping in, just discovering this channel, this is a mainly focused money and career reading channel, but we do dive into each energies of all signs. We have money and career readings, weekly readings. If you're interested in that, I invite you to go check out your sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Every week we have money and career readings. And for anybody already subscribed, that already knows this channel, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. If you're in the mood for supporting this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe. It's free for you, and it makes a huge difference for channels like this to be able to grow. And if you're in the mood to support even more, you can join membership, and that gives you access to your personal readings during lives. Members only get personal readings during lives. We do lives 3 times a week, Monday, Friday, and Sunday. We invite you all. We would love you all to come in. Even if you don't want a reading, join in. Positive energies. Empower yourself. Manifest. We are all about positive energies and moving forward, figuring things out along the way. I always say we're all in the same boat. All right, let's get started on Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, on this bonus deep dive. What are these energies for the sign of Virgo? Deep dives that are already up: Capricorn, Scorpio, and Sagittarius that I just posted today. Vote for your sign. Go in the post community section and vote for your sign if you want a deep dive for your sign, if it's not up already. All right, Virgos, let's see what we got. What are these energies moving forward? This can be spiritual, love, understanding, career, money, life, right? All the energies moving forward. Ace of Cups. The Hierophant. Four of Cups. Seven of Cups. Two of Wands. Just move this over a little bit. Let's keep pulling some cards. I feel like there are other cards that want to come out. Okay. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What are these? Emotions, energies, messages coming out in this deep dive. All right. Six of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. Four of Swords. Knight of Pentacles, the Hangman, and Wheel of Fortune. There's the joy of starting something new, happiness, joy of finding a solution, being very resourceful. This is the time to find solutions, to communicate, to figure things out, to be practical, to be really practical in navigating your energies toward this end of the year, right? Not being overwhelmed with emotions. In other words, your happiness, your joy will come from very practical things, very traditional things, doing things in a very structured and traditional way with wisdom. There's a beginning of understanding here, mental openness to emotional truth, but also understanding how things are going to translate further in a very practical way. You're nurturing. I feel like with the Hierophant, either you're seeking guidance or you are establishing something, structuring something. So whether it's your life, you're making decisions. You're making decisions maybe financially. You're making decisions with intelligence, nurturing intelligence, managing complex systems, managing complex decisions with wisdom and adaptability. Whatever you're moving forward, whatever decisions you have to make in your job, in your life, whether financially, family, dynamics, to make you happy and to make you emotionally balanced, it's important to choose wisdom along the way as you navigate and make these important decisions. Rearrange your finances, restructure your business, making decisions in your job, how you show up in your job in a day-to-day life, sort of balancing yourself out and going in there in your job, in your dynamic, in your work dynamic, but also in your life or in your relationship, to be pragmatic and find solutions and not get overwhelmed emotionally and put things to the side, not wanting to tend, not wanting to do it, or being in denial or whatever, right? We have a certain detachment emotionally from things that were not enough for you before, not enough value, or maybe friendship, right? People not showing up the way you wanted it, or trust issues, illusions, sort of that smoke and mirrors. You don't want to dive into that anymore. You want to be very clear, very pragmatic in your choices. It's almost like cleaning house, restructuring, checking out your finances, checking out your administrative decisions, checking out how it's going on in work, and reorganizing yourself. It's a clean house, reorganizing. And with the Hierophant, it feels like now you want to follow something more classic, more traditional. Not too much about creativity, not too much about willy-nilly, right? We'll figure it out along the way, or we'll figure out what's going on. No, you're thinking long-term and you're organizing yourself long-term. You're not leaving room for how can you say, leaving room for error or for misunderstanding. Cleaning house, really cleaning house. And either you can be seeking guidance from structures, from an administration, from people that are specialized, people that have experience in certain domains. Maybe you're taking classes, maybe you're getting informed, maybe you want to train on something. Whatever it is, you might be going online to get a lot of information, to figure things out by yourself, to want to reorganize your life. And there's a traditional path here in wealth. There's a traditional path here in life. Not ready for surprises, not ready for improv, right? There's no time for improv. This is a time to bring it all together and go on a traditional path in your belief systems, in authority, you're sticking to personal values, you're sticking to personal teaches. It's going to guide you through emotional challenges, right? That's what makes you happy, being very organized, following those patterns, being very structured. It makes you it brings you happiness, and it brings you emotional balance. And so when the challenges do arise, or the disillusions do arise, you're typically very traditionally organized to not have to, right? Not have to, not be surprised. So you are following certain practices or rituals or teachings, or right, for you can also, it can also be spiritual teachings. It can also be following a spiritual path to bring your balance and organize your life and have a clear view of a long term or what is to come. This is for growth, right? These are teachings or decisions or ways to organize your life for growth and balance. And there's a lot of discipline there, and there's a lot of discipline with higher principles. A lot of communications as well with this Two of Wands. Knowing that you are, again, planning. There's so much strategic thinking here, planning, stabilizing, stabilizing possibilities, checking everything out, checking the boxes, pros and cons, and really, really long-term potential. You want stability, you want fairness, you might be helping people financially, or someone else might be helping you. Whatever it is, there's a certain generosity and evaluation here, weighing fairness, weighing reciprocity, responsibility, giving, receiving. This is all part of the cleaning house, all part of seeing clear and following traditional path, and very strategizing and organizing yourself. There is a certain impulsivity there, quick thinking. You're on your feet, you're quick thinking. Be careful of not to you don't want any rash decisions. You don't want anything impulsive. You want to make sure you think everything out, and make sure that is what you want as you restructure your life, as you move forward into something more balanced. Take your time to rest when there are challenges. You got this. You're aware. You're okay. You plan this out. Take your time, take your time. Do not rush into anything. There is, again, a lot of planning, step by step, taking your time. I do feel that at one point, as much as you are organized and strategized and look towards the future and feel you're ready and everything is, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, everything's perfect. There's no room for error. There's no room for creativity. But not everything is always perfect, and you cannot plan for everything, even though you feel like you have that perfect plan, right? We do have the Hangman. So some things are going to go slow. Some things are going to take time. If you're starting a new business, right? If you have to make a decision and you're planning this out, even if you're planning out a move, or planning to change jobs, or planning, there's a slow movement to it, and it's okay. You take your time. You take your time. You're steady. You're dependable. You're loyal. You're patient, but it's taking time, and it's slow moving, and sometimes it's important, because it's slow moving, I'm almost going to say, to enjoy the pause, to enjoy the slow movement, and not be impulsive. With the Hangman, there's a pause, right? So there's going to be a financial pause or a delay, and there's certain sacrifices that are going to be needed. No matter how you prepare, no matter how you're planning this, your perfect plan, which, you know, Virgo is a perfectionist and wants to make sure they see things coming, and no matter what comes in, they're prepared, they're planned, right? Everything's perfect. But I think there are going to be delays, maybe in a financial plan, or there will be delays in a job situation, or a business development, or financial development. Whatever you start, right? You're dependable. You know things are going to arise. You know there will be challenges. And there are going to be delays. So you might have to sacrifice. You might have to let go of this control a little bit. All of this is about control. You might have to let go control a little bit, because your perspective is going to change. There's a new shift coming in with the Wheel of Fortune. Something is changing. Something is shifting. You're going to be moving into another energy. No matter how you prepare things, things are going to come in unexpectedly, and things are going to change unexpectedly. And I know you don't like to hear that, but let's dive in and see what is coming in unexpectedly. When you start feeling delays, when you start feeling things slowing down, not hearing the answers, not hearing the callback, not having the conversations, people not, not getting the information that you want to be able to progress forward, whether it's been job, in a relationship, in your life, in these energies and messages. Suddenly, things are changing. All right, so the delays, I always say, the pauses are there to be able to reassess. And so no matter how you prepare, no matter how amazing you are in preparing and planning, at one point, if it's not moving forward, then there has to be a reassessment. There has to be a moment to understand at that point that things are going to shift and things are going to be different. The pause always, the delays always brings in a shift. And expect something different. Be open to different. Let's pull a card on the delay, what is delaying, and then let's put a card on how it's changing and what is coming in a different way. One card on the Hangman, please. Why do we have a pause? Why do we have a pause here? Then it's also about accepting change and chaos, and accepting that, the ebbs and flows in life, and you cannot control everything. What is the Hangman, please? You don't want to give me anything for the Hangman? Feeling unsupported, feeling left out, not enough money, didn't get your money, or feeling left out in the communication. And yeah, that's the delay. That's the delay where you're not getting the communication. And there we go. There's the sudden communication, the sudden overflow of information coming in. Expect news, expect a call, contact, expect the information to come in, and expect a lot going on, a lot of communication. So after a period of not understanding or not really getting many answers, yes, and then the faith returns. So we have this eight of Wands, which tells me that there's sudden, right? Sudden communication or sudden action there after a long delay. And then that sudden communication is sort of lighting you up and bringing you back faith, and bringing you back to your goal. So don't lose faith. Expect news and expect positive news. So when you feel things are dragging, and when you feel left out, or when you feel the job's not coming, or when you feel not enough money, or the communication is not there, right? There we are There's a shift in communication, and there's really rapid movement. You're gaining mental clarity, and things are going to be at a state of flow. There's like a cascade of information coming in, and that's shifting you in a really positive way. There's an emotional balance that's coming back. There's openness also to vulnerability, right? Being emotionally present, being receptive, and being ready to trust again. Maybe you didn't trust anymore. Maybe there's no trust, or you lost your trust in the job. You lost your trust in the job market and getting a job, or communicating, or in your relationship, or in your decisions, in your, emotionally in your life. Here, you're going to be ready to trust again. And really, the star brings a sense of emotional serenity after challenges. It doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect, right? But there's a quiet confidence that really things are going to be okay, that to be kind to yourself. You're learning to value yourself. There's a gentle, genuine healing here. It's not a forced positivity. It's just expect some good news and expect a positive shift here and message into the Wheel of Fortune. Now, once you get this shift, once you are moving forward, and this is meant to happen, this is fated, this needs to happen for change, right? This is fate and destiny. The Wheel of Fortune is about forces outside of your control. And again, this is all about control. And then boom, this is not in your control. There's nothing you can do about it. But it's an unexpected opportunity. And an unexpected opportunity to shift. It's a good time, again, to be open to change, to be open to new possibilities. So it puts you in the right direction and gets you out of the sort of delays and the disillusions that you have had before. Things are going to be at a state of flux. Things are going to be a little chaotic and change. Inevitably, things need to change. When there's a pause, inevitably, there's a sudden shift to move in a different direction, because the universe is sort of pushing you on the right track to be able to reach that goal. Whatever your goal is, comment down below. What is this all about? What are you trying to make happen? What has been delayed? What are the things that that you're trying to make happen in your life? There's a lucky break coming in, and there's a lucky break coming out of nowhere. Again, not very much in your control. So let's take another deck and see what's going on with the Wheel of Fortune. What is this lucky break? What is this big change, this big shift for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Yes. Okay, so that was right side up. So you're getting out of the delays. You're getting out of delays. You're getting out of that stagnation. Hands are tied. Can't find options. What am I going to do now? Okay, so you're getting out of that. Now it's going to move forward. It's going to move forward. Getting out of feeling unsupported, getting out of the money issues, getting out of the non-communication, or the difficult dynamic in your job, or the difficult dynamic in a community, in your relationship, in family, and finding again that equal give and take, that sort of generosity, a fair either exchange of money, or finding a fair financial balance around you in your job. We do have the High Priestess, which is addressing issues, addressing, that's a tongue twister, addressing issues that, or truths, that have been beneath the surface for a while. There's the shift there, needing to address, needing to understand that you have to dig deeper. And maybe these are things that you weren't even aware of. It doesn't have to be denial. Maybe you were not aware of the full picture. Maybe you were not aware of the circumstances, why you didn't get the money, or why you were left out, or why you didn't get the answer, or why it's taking so long, why the delays, right? Look beyond the obvious. Look beyond the obvious to understand what is truly at play in your life, right? There's a wisdom here within you that has maybe been ignored, or that may not yet be fully aware of, right? You might not be fully aware of what's going on, or what brought you there, or what brought the delays, or why you didn't get the answer. So listen to your gut feelings, listen to your instincts, pay attention to your dreams rather than relying solely on logic, external advice, right? You hold the answer. These things beneath the surface need to be discovered. And you're uncovering hidden truths. It might be about yourself, and it can be completely between you and yourself, and things that you have to figure out emotionally or energetically that you haven't tapped into, or that you haven't addressed, you personally, mentally, physically, emotionally. Maybe there's a situation or something you haven't addressed yet that you need to be addressed. So be comfortable with that. Be comfortable with uncertainty, or be comfortable addressing these things. I mean, not everything needs to be known. You don't have to talk about everything. Not everything also needs to be known right away, right? Not every truth needs to be known. But whatever truth needs to be revealed, it will emerge when the time is right. So now it might be time to embrace a softer, more passive aspect of yourself, instead of organizing, controlling, structuring, making sure you plan for everything every step of the way. Maybe time to listen, to observe, to receive, and to trust the flow of life. Again, you're reconnecting with traditions, practices, cultures, spiritual, maybe even things that have been passed through generations. You're reconnecting. You're finding the truth. You're finding clarity. This is a moment where you come together with yourself, your conscious, your soul. Let's see if there's one last message for the road, Virgos. Deep dive bonus reading. One last message for the road. I did see this one. Yeah. Again, reconnecting with traditions. One last message for the soul. I like that. One last message for the soul. Yeah. 5 of Pentacles. One last message for the soul for this deep dive Virgo bonus reading. Thank you. Yeah, taking responsibility. Again, there's a lot of taking charge, but taking charge after the deep clearing, emotional clearing, cleansing of the soul. And that's really, really putting you in a beautiful, positive energy here. So we have the Emperor taking charge. There can be a father figure here. Doesn't have to be. It's a moment where you are happy because you went through it, you cleared it, you addressed it. Maybe it's difficult. Maybe these are difficult truths to understand, or maybe things that you needed to figure out yourself. And that's where the Emperor pops in, right? Taking charge, right? Taking charge. You have the ability to organize, to establish your system, to value things, to find that clarity and find that stability. with that reasoned thought. And again, you have that planning over improv, but you have to, that control over improvisation. But you need a little bit of both, because to be too structured and too hermetic to changes and too hermetic to creativity, to open up to changes, then it puts you in an energy of feeling left out, because people are not going to pop in since they know you like to be in control. And it's all about those principles and speculations over assumptions, right? Order creates power, right? And you want to build something that lasts. But you also want to find that inner power to master your emotions and your doubts, to favor reassured decision making. So willpower meets intellect, but also openness to vulnerability brings back your balance, your emotional balance, and your energy flow. And with the sun, beautiful. It's that mental illumination. So once you clear all that energy, once you understand that you have to have a little bit of both structure and control, and creativity and openness and vulnerability, that gives you that mental illumination that's sort of going to clear away all the confusion and the doubt and the illusion. It's a moment where everything just clicks and understanding becomes simple, bright, and undeniable. Beautiful positive energies, confidence coming back. You get it. You get it, Virgo. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful reading. I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe to support the channel. Give it a like. And if you're in the mood, join membership. Gives you the opportunity to get personal tarot readings. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.